And welcome everyone to the official, the first Mystics pregame of the regular season. We got Cardo W. Jr., Wilson Tarpe Jr. We got the Mystics opening night roster up there. The Mystics finished the preseason 1-1 tonight to open the regular season on the road, facing the Toronto Tempo, one of two new expansion teams in the W this season. Just a brief reminder on expansion teams for the Mystics. Unfortunately for them, when it came to the Golden State Valkyries, they made franchise history for the Valkyries, where Washington was the team in which Golden State got its first franchise win against. So Washington has a big opportunity tonight to avoid history and not let it repeat itself. Some injury news: Washington Mystics guard Cody McMahon sustained a partial tear of her UCL in her left elbow on May 3rd. That was their second game, their second preseason game. The injury will be treated conservatively, and McMahon will be reevaluated in a week. As we get updates, we'll share them with you guys. Injury reports for this game: the Mystics will be without Michaela Onyenwere and Cody McMahon. The Toronto Temple will be without forward Isabel Harrison. So Cardell coming off a preseason, which we saw them go 1-1. What are the keys in a nice game for Washington if they wish to start this regular season off with a W?
Well, definitely try to, shoot the ball better from the perimeter so we can open things up and they can, kind of use their versatile bigs a little bit more. They can space the floor because, Betts, average 15 in the preseason. Doing the thing we know what Kiki could do, Shakira and all them, they're proving. We know what they can do, but the floor did shrink a little bit. So, but then again, it's preseason, Sonya, certain guards and stuff didn't play consistent minutes. You know what I mean? They trying to see who can make the team and who's not. But everybody kind of there. I'm eager to see how with a regular rotation established and players knowing they're gonna get regular minutes, how that's gonna flow now with the floor spacing so the bigs can the depth of bigs that they have can do what they do, and the wings they can do what they do and just dominate, wear this thing down. It's a shame that McMahon went down. I was excited to see her. I think she was starting in the preseason. She was doing her thing. You know what I mean? Unfortunate injury, but she was third in the preseason scoring. 10 a game. So hopefully if it's speedy recovery and she can get back and do what she's doing. But the good thing is that's in her elbow and the injury. Her legs work just fine, so she can stay in shape. You know what I mean? So that's the only thing. You stay ready. Stay as ready as possible, man, and just work on your opposite hand, man. So it's all good with that. But I'm eager to see Rory. Now it's real. Rory and Georgia. See how the point guards fare when it's real, and teams are preparing for you. They're scouting for you. They're looking at the preseason game and the footage to get a feel for you or not. Definitely. Eager to see how that go. Toronto, familiar face. They got to face some Brittany Sykes. What I always say about players facing former teams, they always want to send a message. Reports were that Brittany wanted to kind of go. Depending on what the situation was and whatnot. But regardless, she's a problem when she's healthy. She's a problem. She can kill you as a playing the true point position and from the two. One of the more athletic guards that has ever came in the league. So you got to deal with her on both ends, man. And she plays, so she's familiar with Sonya, Kiki, few of their players. So it's going to be interesting. You know what I mean? Outside of that, it's business as usual. On the Temple side, they're big, man. Fact Benley, 6'5". Just looking at the last game against the Lynx as they prepare for the Mystics. She's 6'5". Just Kaita, she's up there, 6'3", 6. Like you gotta they're big, man. Like Sykes, 6 feet, 5'11", 6 feet. But with her athletics, she plays a lot bigger than what she is. So she can get away, honestly, playing all three. I think she's better at guard. She can get away with doing it all, man. Then they got Kia Nurse, who's 6'1", can guard 1 through 4. You know what I mean? And that's been her calling card while she's sketched out a full long career. It starts with defense, where her doing the dirty work on that. So I'm pretty sure her sights are going to try to jump Sonya. You know what I'm saying, and really see if any of the rookies are up to the task of trying to help. Because they went very young this year, and again, Julie Allemand, 5'10". She's capable of being uh, not a disruptor on defense, but solid on defense. But also her bread and butter is hitting open shots and facilitating, setting the table. Again, we saw flashes what every team can bring, but we won't know until now when it's go time and certain players are getting extended minutes, man. So I'm eager to see that. Obviously, everybody's anticipating seeing Kiki Rice, local product, NCAA champion, first round pick, play for the Tempo, playing our hometown team at home as a professional. So she's gonna be excited. So it's gonna be a nice little battle. See how she acclimates to the pro game. Um, in her last game, she was pretty solid off the bench. 10 points, 4 of 7, and on the loss at Minnesota, 10 points, 4 of 7 shooting, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 23 minutes. You know what I mean? So she you could tell she kind of got a good feel for it already, man. So look, man, I'm just eager to see her do her thing when the lights is on, and now it's really on. It counts. So those are my things. And with the Mystics, with the athleticism and size, the last thing with the size and athleticism and versatility that they got, like I said from day one, I'm eager to see if they really gonna set their mind on being one of the top defensive teams in the league. And definitely rebounding. All that goes hand in hand. Like rebounding too. They too big, they too athletic, they too deep. Not doing either is just you're not playing up to your potential. And it starts for me with looking at the roster. It starts on that end. They get it done on that end. Um, Offense will come easy. And I know offense matters and stuff like that because look, shot selection will dictate how you are able to defend. If you're just taking bad shots, other teams gonna run on you, and then it's gonna be always a track meet. But I think with the guard play that they have and the bigs that they have to control the boards and score inside and get easy points and slow the game down, get 3-point plays the old-fashioned way, I think they complement each side of the ball perfectly, man. And then it's just about staying attentive and paying attention to detail on defense, man. They clamp down like they're capable of doing with their roster. It could be a pretty fun season for the Mystics.
Yeah, I'm right with you. And I think those two things you mentioned with the defense and the rebounding, those will be evergreen topics for us to touch on all year. Because I mean, honestly, how they're built, that's the thing they can control the best. When you talk about their age and what they may not have in terms of the reps that they need and the experience that will come, game by game. Honestly, I'm just looking for them to embrace that identity. I think that's really what they're built for. They get it done on that end. Yeah, they're probably not going to be one of the better shooting teams in the league in terms of numbers from the 3 point line. But one of the things we did see is I'm looking forward to them to continue that balance we saw offensively. Where last year, it was kind of inside or bust, unless the times that Sonya got going from three, but teams made it clear last year after a certain point in time, her and Kiki got to the All Star level nod, and it was all right. Well, this is what you want. This is what we're not going to give you anymore. Or those wide open looks, as far as Citron goes. So yeah, it's I'm right with you with the point guards too. They got to change. We got two floor generals. The quicker they get accustomed to this level of play, like we talked about it on the men's side of things and how many games they played. We were like, man, it would have been a little bit different if they had somebody that can control the tempo, control the game. Um, it just in that area which they didn't. Outside of the couple times we saw Trey Young play. But yeah, I'm interested in just embrace the defensive side, and I think the offensive come as they get stops. Like they're athletic as hell. There's everyone can get up and down the floor, and we've seen that through a couple preseason games, what have you. But the strength of them bigs, I want to see if they're able to wear on teams. And you brought up the size of Toronto. That's why you have these 3 to 4 bigs in here. That group of bigs Washington has, where it's Shakira, Kiki, Lauren, Angela. That's why you have that group to where it's so you can withstand those teams that are loaded up front, and for the teams who are not as loaded, you wear them down like that. You brought up Lauren and what she's averaging. One thing we see in two preseason games, she found herself at the free throw line on a regular basis. Um, so again, I know last year, I think it was last year we talked about. sometimes it was hard for them to get easy points. I'm interested to see how that changes this year if the kids can change that this year. And again, it's only gonna be the first game, but yeah, I can't wait. And we've seen it a little bit defensively, but that was just preseason. Like you said, everything's real tonight. So we saw a couple flashes where it does look interesting because they are capable of being very disruptive on the end of the floor.
Right, and with McMahon down, I'm eager to see how they're going to use Prosper, Cassandra Prosper, because she's not as how to say it, she's not as offensively as polished and as skilled as McMahon is right now. But she's 6'3". She's 6'3". She does have skill. I'm not saying she doesn't. It's just not as polished and skilled as McMahon. But she got perimeter skills at 6'3", which is like a center, man. And she has similar athleticism, man. You know, like she's not as athletic, but it's not far behind. I'm eager to see how they're gonna use her. This opportunity for her to be like, oh, give me the minutes and do what she do. And I think she can help, man. You know what I mean? Like I'm eager to see how they kind of utilize her and how she go from there, man. She averaged in 19 minutes in the preseason already. I mean, she averaged 6 and 4. She averaged 6 and 4 in 19 minutes, and that's where her shooting bad. She made her shot. She shot 30% in the preseason. She shoot 50% or whatnot. It's a totally different ball game. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's easily she shoot 50% up from her 30. That's 10, and you're getting that off the bench 10-5 as a rookie. 19 minutes, you'll take that. You'll take that, especially with how deep their reserves, and that means that's instant production coming in, and you don't have to put so much pressure on, the Kikis and Lauren and Shakir and all that to always have to, dominate. They can give them a little break here and there, and she can hold the fort down while they're, getting a little rest, which makes them better.
Yeah, and to double down on the Prosper thing is another one of those things where they have a couple of players with that positional versatility where in a situation like this comes up big, like you mentioned with Prosper with Cody being out, Michaela Onion Ware's out too. So that's two of your wings that we could easily see fit into that three slot. Like you said, you got Prosper and some of the other things prosper, the passing issues. We saw that in the preseason. She's a capable connector. And defensively, and then, like you said, that size is that size, man. That is a luxury to have on a perimeter. I think her versatility, I'm interested to see just how much they move Leach up and down too, because of that positional versatility, which you're able to get away with them being down two players on the wing. So again, it's only one game, but I'm anxious to see the different lineups and also I can't wait to see the rotation as you mentioned. I know last year we saw a lot of the hockey style type subs, 5 in, 5 out, 5 out. Is that going to continue this year, or is it going to be a little bit different? And just some of the pairings that could be matchup based. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to. We'll get a little bit of that information tonight. Obviously, it's only the first game of the season, but we'll finally get a glimpse into it because preseason's for preseason. There's only so much you can take from it. The stuff tonight is live. You had anything else you wanted to add? All right, so folks, as always, we appreciate you guys tuning in for pregame. We will see you guys later this evening for Mystics Outlook. Can't wait to discuss the action from this one. Cardell shared the keys to the game. You guys enjoy. Uh, hopefully, hopefully, there's a lot of positives to talk about at the end of the night. But enjoy Washington and